Hey, what's good, everybody out there? Welcome back over to the channel. Hopefully, you're well. Hopefully, you're blessed. Um, it seems like anytime I'm sitting in front of this camera right here or at this desk, it's to release some sort of profound message as far as what the heck I want to do going forward. The last time I did this, I was expressing to everybody how I had thoughts about, just kind of letting this channel go and letting streaming go completely. But decided to just go ahead and keep this channel because, I wanted to help people out with their fitness goals, with their health, their mental goals, spiritual, all of that good stuff, by nature, I really care about people and I want to see people healthy on all fronts. And if I can play a role in that, I'm going to do that. And if utilizing a platform is the way for me to do that for people all over the country, then I'm going to do that. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We got so much negativity in this world, so much evil, so much wickedness, and not enough guiding lights, not enough people standing in the gap to bridge um hopelessness on the way to hope. There's just not enough people in this world to do things like that. A lot of people are just here in it for themselves, and they don't care about anybody else except for themselves. They just care about them making it. They care about them coming up. They care about them getting to the top of the mountain. They don't care about other people and whether or not they're okay or not. And that's just not the way that, I'm going to live my life. So there that is there. So if you see the title of this, um, I made a decision to adopt my former identity, we'll say. It's not just a name to me. Initial D is the original name in which I chose when I decided to be a streamer, we'll say. And if you don't know the story about that, let me just take everybody down memory lane. If you've been following me for the last 2 years, then you probably know where I'm going with this. But so where did I come up with that name? So I remember when I created the Twitch account, I initially, no pun intended, I initially said I don't want what I'm doing here to have anything to do with what I do in real life, which is my profession career is in the world of fitness. That is what I do. Um I wanted to create some sort of a outlet to get me away from work and to get me away from anything that associated with just exercising and fitness and stuff. I know that might sound bad to some people, but I mean, just look at it like this. You know, whatever you may do for a living, would you really want that to be attached to something that's supposed to be fun? Something that's supposed to be an outlet for yourself? Something that's just supposed to be completely separate from what you do for a living, right? I don't think anybody wants that to be intertwined with each other, we'll say. And when I was thinking of a name, I was like, well, what the heck am I going to choose? What name am I going to possibly pick for to do this? So, um, all of my life, everyone's always called me by the first initial of my name, which is D, of course. And we're talking about middle school, high school, young adult years. It's just what people call me. So I'm like, okay, we'll utilize that name there. But at the same time, I was like, well, that's boring. Just D. Like, is that would you really want to be called doing this? So, an anime I was watching, like, not long before I started watching Twitch, is the anime Initial D, which is basically it's like it came out in like the late. It's old. Let's just put it like that. It's old and super old. They actually have an arcade as well, video game. It's pretty cool. It's um Japanese drag racing, drifting mostly. Y'all know what is that movie? I almost said Need for Speed, but Fast and the Furious, like Tokyo Drift, kind of has that Tokyo Drift vibe, but it's like teenagers, and they do it at nighttime, which I always found to be exciting. Great soundtrack. It's just a cool anime. Not the greatest in the world, by the way, but it's a cool anime. So I said, okay, you know what? Why don't I just combine the two? You know, the anime and the fact that my first name starts with a D. So I merged them together and I added an L on the end of initial. So instead of it being pronounced initial, it's initial. So very few people got that right. Some people did. A lot of people didn't. It's almost like they just thought that that other L was just there to be there, and it was there just to be silent when it wasn't. And another reason that I decided to put that L on the end is so that I could use it to brand. I could profit from it because if I were to just use initial D, you know, just the way that it's spelled from the original show, I don't think I would be able to do any of that stuff. So putting the extra L on the end makes it mine, makes it my name. Not even pronounced like the anime. It's in the shell. But again, very few people miss that. So when I created that name, I was like, I like it. I really do. I feel like I resonate with it, and a lot of people actually, you know, just thought it was very unique. And I I grew attached to it. I really did. So we went on with that name on and on as we made content streaming on Twitch, and everything was great, especially around the year 2001, and then going into 2022, all the way up until about the summertime, I'd say, of last year is when I just to start. Excuse me, was when I started to think about changing my name up. Now, I don't know whether it was because I just wanted change, just because, or because I just got tired of my old name. I'm not sure if that was it, but I broke the rule that I actually set when I initially, you know, pun intended again, created the Twitch account. And that rule, if you remember, was to not merge what I do in real life with what I want to do in the world of content creation and streaming. So I broke that rule and we changed to the Muscle TV. Um, some people actually thought that the name fit me because, you know, look at me, you know, I'm the muscle guy. I work out, I'm a bodybuilder, and all this other stuff. They're like, yeah, it fits you. It does. I know that it fits me because that is what I go by in IRL. That is what everybody in this city knows me as, and I know that it fits me. It's a name that I've had for probably close to 14 years now. So the fact that it felt natural is it's a given. I already knew it was gonna feel natural, but when I changed it, it didn't feel as exciting as adopting, you know, my first name because it's like, oh, it's Steve Muscle. Like, already, it's nothing new to me. It's not fresh. So um, I had to configure everything around that name. You know, everything from like emotes to sub badges, just everything I felt like had to be like fitness related. And it didn't really leave a lot of room for the creativity that Initial D was able to bring to content creation because I just felt like everything that I did under the alias of D Muscle had to be associated with muscle, or it had to be associated with fitness. It had to be associated with working out or something of that nature. And that's not what I wanted. Like that's really not what I wanted when I became a content creator because I wanted to give myself an outlet, and I wanted to do it under a completely different alias that has absolutely nothing to do with fitness, and then this show was perfect. It was so perfect, and it worked. But the moment I changed, I felt like I lost my identity as a content creator. And here I am. I'm sitting here thinking like, most of being the last year, a lot a lot of this year, even though it's March, I would sit here and wonder like why am I struggling so badly right now to get back into streaming? Like what's wrong? What's the deal? And I used to sit and think like, well, maybe it's because you don't have time. You are a trainer, you are a father, you're a husband, you have a life, you got things you got to do outside of streaming and stuff like that. And the fact is, yeah, all of those things are true, but for me to just sit and to literally like convince myself that I don't have the time to do it is it's not true. Like I do. There are points where I really do have time to do it, but when you when you feel like you lost something that motivated you to continue with content creation and streaming, it's very hard to get that back unless you figure it out as to what was it you lost. And it dawned on me, I know what it was. I lost that exclusiveness that separated me from work because when I hear the name D Muscle, I think about work. I think about the environment I have to go to every day. I think about just everything that's associated with that. And it's not really a getaway anymore when I see that name here on Twitch, or I see the name on YouTube, or I see the name on any place that I'm trying to give myself a break from work. And even though some people may be like, well, it's not the same. Well, to me it is because everything starts up here, and names, and they go with faces, they go with places, associations, and all of the above. And if you constantly see that, you're going to always feel like you're in a constant state of whatever that's being associated with. Initial D never ever felt like work to me. It felt like a getaway. It felt fun, adventurous. It was just amazing to me. And, to some people out here, they think that, well, it's just a name. Like, no, it's not. It's to me, it's not just a name. It really isn't. Like we choose our names for a particular reason. Like I don't just wake up and decide that, I want to be called that just because. Like, no, 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 no. There is meaning behind everything that we do. And if you're doing something in this life for no reason, just to do it, then what the heck is what are you for what's the purpose? What are you doing? Why are you doing that if there's no reasoning or purpose behind what it is you do? And I'm just not gonna live my life like that. So I made the decision. Like I have been like hinting at this for a while now. And there's been some streamers that have just refused to call me D Muscle. And they just constantly keep calling me in the shower. Like, and I can't even get mad at it. And every time I would hear it, I would miss it. And I knew that if I still had that feeling of missing it, then I probably should have never changed it to begin with. And, of course, these thoughts go through your head like, oh gosh, like I don't want to be that person that people look at as constantly changing their persona, changing their names, and yada yada yada. Like always, now you're this, or now you go by that, now you go by that. Like no, 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 no. Like anytime I've ever this is why I decided not to go with anything else other than the name that I fell in love with and that everybody else fell in love with that follows me, which is Initiall D. That's why I would never choose anything other than the two names in which I've gone under, which is Initiall D and D Muscle, because these are names that define who I am as a person and a content creator. Initiall D is the content creator. He is the creative one. He is l'expérience. He is the energy that people are drawn to. He is that positive force that people love to visit and associate with. He is who he is. The muscle is the businessman. He is, the fitness professional. He is the one that is changing lives on a day-to-day basis. And they both have a great place. One of them on the internet and the other in IRL. People in my life, like IRL, meaning, friends, associates, clients, family, they don't, they never understood what I was doing on Twitch or Twitter or anything. They just never got it. They never understood. So explaining it to them was futile. And sometimes I feel like people on the internet don't truly understand what I do in real life. I don't know if they can. I don't know. No offense, and sometimes I just feel like they don't. They're not really like grasping the fitness aspect. That they're not really feeling it sometimes. And I can't force people to feel any type of way. I can't make a person love working out or fitness. I just can't. Like that's just not realistic. So I don't. That was never the goal in the first place, to be honest with everybody out there. But um, changing back to Initial D, I already feel that excitement. I already feel that. I feel like it's that's just that renewed feeling of wanting to like get back out here and create content and push hard, harder than I've ever pushed. Talking with my wife, Just Crafty. She formerly known formerly known as Simple Mom Gaming, formerly known as Crafty Gemini. We she dropped the Gemini for personal reasons, and now she's just Crafty, which she is. That's her. She supports everything that I do, every move that I make, every step that I take. She supports it, and she also felt like that Initial D is that's the one that I should have stuck with and that I need to stick with. Trying to merge my IRL and my internet persona was a bad idea because I feel like it just ruined, I don't say ruined, but I feel like it really like put a halt on things with content creation. So so by me like not disassociating, but just separating the two once again, like I did in the beginning, I think is the best thing to do. It just means that I just have to give them both time, their own time, which means more responsibility, more planning, and it's okay at the end of the day. But I felt like it was the best thing for me. All right, folks, we are coming up on 20 minutes, and I thought this was gonna be like a 10-minute video. Well, I was wrong. It's all right though. All right, this is gonna feel good to say. I am your host and will forever be your host, and this Shao D. Thank you very much for subscribing to this channel. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. I appreciate all of the support, all of the love, all of it's just everything y'all do. And now I'm gonna have to work on some intros again. I'm gonna have to no, I'm not gonna work on nothing. I'm gonna use this what I've used for, which is just fine. And yeah, thank you very much everybody out there for continuing to support this channel. I love you all. Comment down below if you feel the need to. All right, peace.